How's it going, guys? This is John Timothy Gallardo, and today I will perform experiment number 1 in power electronics. It is entitled Introduction to Circuit Modeling. So now, let's begin. The objectives of this experiment are to familiarize with the PSPI simulation software, to capture diagram of switching circuit, and to model the switch based on the set parameters. Create a new project, name it Experiment 1 Part 1, then blank project. Now let's create the circuit as shown in the illustration. We can find the components at the Place tab. Connect the circuit. Then set its parameters. Create new simulation profile, name it XP1P1. Select time domain transient and set a runtime of 80 microseconds. Now let's run the simulation. Click Trace, then add trace and select VV Control Plus for the switch voltage control. We can observe that the peak voltage of the waveform is 5 volts and lasted for 10 microseconds, then rises again after 25 microseconds. For the load resistor voltage, change the VV Control Plus to VR Load 2. We can observe that the peak voltage of the waveform is 24 volts and lasted for 10 microseconds and rises again after 25 microseconds. For the part 2 of our experiment, create again a new project, name it Experiment 1 Part 2, then blank project. Create the circuit as shown in the illustration. Connect the circuit. and set its parameters. Create new simulation profile, name it XP1P2. Select time domain transient and set a runtime of 80 microseconds. Now let's run the simulation. Click Trace, then add Trace and select VV Control Plus for the switch voltage control. To measure the peak voltage value, right-click then cursor on. For that, we recorded a value of 35.541 volts. We can observe that the peak of the waveform lasted for 10 microseconds, then falls for 1 nanosecond, and rises again after 25 microseconds and reaches its peak after 1 nanosecond. For the load resistor voltage, change the VV Control Plus to VR Load 2. For the load resistor voltage, we recorded a value of 23.541 volts. We can observe that the waveform is the same with the switch voltage control. The peak of the waveform lasted for 10 microseconds, then falls for 1 nanosecond, and rises again after 25 microseconds and reach its peak after 1 nanosecond.